Welcome back to Cinema Recaps. Today we are review Monster Truck, released in 2016. Spoilers ahead. We see a organization in first scene whose work become to find the oil while digging the floor. The people are drilling the ground as according to ordinary. They are digging the ground. They find a few signs of existence inside the depth of the properly. It turned into indicating as there may be existence of life. Someone surely stays right here. All geologists get amazed. But the geologist's head says, this operation have to no longer be stopped. The ground have to be drilled more if you want to find out what's right here. The underground water device creates an problem. Hydrostatic strain will increase. As an end result, that underground gadget is damaged, and three mysterious creatures appear outdoor from there. The head of the enterprise receives involved due to this. As our organization can be banned if this news travels rapid, we can be called for prosecution. Why did we go to dig that area? From wherein did these creatures appear? Then that geologist says to the agency head that those creatures can be determined out if we understand what is the food plan of these creatures. The head says to the geologist that we will need to take this step covertly, so nobody may additionally come to know approximately it at all. In the subsequent scene, a boy is proven on the alternative facet, whose name is Trip, and he receives education in excessive college. He used to are living along with his mother and stepfather. Trip serves in a scrapyard in his entertainment, where the vintage motors and vans had been brought. In the same manner, a truck is delivered there. Scrapyard's owner tells him on Trip's asking that it has been determined from the area of digging a notable mishap had happened there. The proprietor says to him, it is your truck now, because you may make it applied. I am not understanding about it. When Trip involves the scrapyard at night time, looking at his pickup truck, he visualizes. Then he hears a information in which the information of explosion came about in the morning is being instructed. How threatening it become. It was a biggest explosion. After that, he checks that a car has drilling hole. Trip is once more seen within the identical scrapyard. He hears a valid when he is starting an engine. That sound very mysterious. He movements in advance to check it. He actions to that aspect, but that issue starts off evolved to cover itself from him. It is going at the back of the oil drums. Trip throws an instrument toward it which reasons the falling of all oil drums. Trip runs to the cellar and hides himself, but that mysterious creature additionally reaches there. Trip runs out of doors in worry and locks the cellar. He changed into not getting the point from wherein this creature has come. Why is it after him? Meanwhile, it is visible that police additionally approach there. Opening the cellar, they find nothing. Trip tells them that it was a massive being. It has emptied all oil drums. I actually have witnessed that it become hidden at the back of the oil drums. Afterwards, all oil drums drop. I am not telling a lie, but they don't believe him, and they depart from there. Next day, Trip converses along with his elegance fellow, Meredith. SH has a keen hobby inside the biology problem. She tells that 15,000 species are found day by day. It manner, there are already many species inside the world. Some of them have been observed while others are being found each 12 months. They are in a huge numbering. After that, Trip spreads the oil everywhere, coming to his scrapyard in order to test. Either this oil additionally surely captures the attention of these creatures. In the same way, a creature seems earlier than him, which has the multi-lengthy legs, and it quenches its appetite with the oils of the drums. It approached that Trip doubted efficaciously. Trip is left astonished, seeing it. He attempts to speak with this creature. He also gives it some other oil tank. Meanwhile, agency's personnel approach there, and they ask whether something came about there the day prior to this, because they recognize there is a big creature that may harm you. That massive creature hides inside the truck of Trip in the course of this time. Actually, that creature changed into hiding to see those humans. Trip's fellow, Meredith, additionally comes there, and Trip attempts to entertain her, and Trip tries to tell her. She says, drop me to my residence. I haven't any time. On the alternative facet, it is seen that company's personnel hear a mysterious sound near the truck. They proceed toward it and Trip pushes his class fellow into his truck. And that creature drives off truck quickly from that junkyard. They come to the house of Meredith, wherein Trip modifies the truck. He makes such a place where that creature can get a maintain over it properly. Witnessing that creature, Trip tells his magnificence fellow that it is a sharp and first-rate creature. He says, certainly one of its benefit might be this, that it's going to work like an engine for our truck. Then they pressure off from there. They move to check whether that creature can work as an engine or no longer. At first sight, that creature begins to power the truck promptly. It approached that they had been guessing right. Trip makes that creature take petrol that's the form of a oil. But many accidents occur because of this. Company's geologist attempted to realize what is the eating regimen of each creatures. Then he is aware of after getting to know that their survival relies upon on the oil, and they feel their urge for food taking oil. Trip encounters his father and he suggests him the area wherein he lives, where they talk about that mishap befell on that day. Sitting there, Trip's father says to him, "Nothing may be said about this. These creatures is probably the motive of that explosion that befell there. It can be possible that the cause of that explosion is simplest gas." Coming outdoor, Trip encounters the employer's employees near his truck. Actually, his father had informed the organization's pals that one of the creatures amongst them is in our residence, inside the custody of Trip. They come to recognize that creature is within the truck. They pressure off due to that creature's rapid riding. It approached that creature drives that truck promptly wherein Trip and Meredith are seated. And Business Enterprises employees cannot capture them. But Business Enterprises personnel had been now not allowing them to move. They pursue them. That creature and Trip are driving that truck on the roofs. It turned into driving the truck even as jumping it distinctly. They get away from them whilst jumping the truck on the train. And they flee from the Enterprise's crew, leaping at the Educate whilst it passes earlier than them. Then they reach a seaside in which Meredith's father's hunting cabin is placed, where he used to seat. Then they spend the night time there. That creature feels delight witnessing the water there, and it begins to take bathe there. Trip gives his words to that creature that he's going to absolutely send it to its home. Company's scientist is studying those creatures, and he involves know that those creatures are very exceptional. Their brain works speedy. Company's head calls them and says that our Business Enterprises contaminated water is being dispatched to the opposite town, so we are able to bring these creatures with it. We will send them with it, so they may be thrown into the intensity of the well. Scientist tells him those creatures have emotions, so it's going to now not be properly to kill them. Then it is visible that creature chases that truck, which is carrying its parents. Both trucks prevent reaching the organization, and Meredith and Trip also pursue them. They understand that they may be the mother and father of the creature. They are here. Meantime, organization's crew additionally tactics there, and that creature is knocked out. Trip and his friend is added to the agency's head. He says to them, just neglect that creature. Company's scientist says to them, leaving from there, that he cannot see these creatures' death. The speedy vehicles are required to carry them out from there. Trip thinks that I will loose them from here. I will convey right here a few rapid trucks. Trip thinks the one's trucks are found in his scrapyard, so he talks with his head. Now his head supports him, and he receives greater vehicles. He brings modification in the one's trucks, and he makes them for the dad and mom of that creature. Now those creatures are carried on those vans, but that scientist reaches Trip using that truck. That creature meets with its mother and father, and three of them conceal in the truck. Three of the tricks are driven off from there, and company's trucks additionally attain the open discipline, chasing them. Trucks drive to the way of mountainous region, confronting them. It is the manner where the mountain variety starts. Company's truck pushes Trip closer to the ditch. As a result, he starts hanging with the truck door. Then that creature rescues his life from there. Trip knows that a truck is filled with poison, which is going to be filled in those holes by the company. They attempt hard to stop that truck, because those creature might lose their lives for no cause if they did as such. They struggle hard to stop those company's trucks to reach that place, but the way is set on fire, so Trip and that creature cannot continue to drive. At the same time, Trip's stepfather reaches there, arranging a big truck, and he assists them. Trip crosses the mountains along with his companions, and he destroys the truck filled with poison. It means the poison was blasted, which was going to be filled in those holes. Meanwhile, they also approach the place of accident, and scientist tries to stop the poison machine. That creature's parents are moving towards its home. Trip's truck is pushed to the drilling hole, so he falls into the depth of the wall. Here that creature again rescues Trip, and it leaves him on the surface of the ground. Now that creature and its parents along with other creatures depart, gratifying him. Now the positive things was this, that company was revealed. Its all bad ways had been exposed before everyone. That what was company's intention towards the creatures. Now the company's head is seized, who was manipulator. Trip, along with his stepfather, builds a good engine for a truck, because he was already interested in it. So he builds a very good engine for a truck to fulfill his desire. In the end of the movie, it is observed that Trip and his fellow Meredith are closely befriended. There was satisfactory ending of this movie, because those creatures had also been secured from any harm. If you like the video, like and subscribe for more.